So are you still experiencing symptoms well after your periods have stopped? So we're looking, 2, 3, 4, 5 years or more. So don't always blame your symptoms on your hormones, because it could be something completely different. So today I'm going to look at some of the key signs that you need to be aware of. So number one is, are you still experiencing symptoms well after the 2 years post-menopause or since your periods have stopped? Normally what happens after 2 to 3 years, when your periods have stopped, symptoms should start to tail off. But some symptoms will continue, especially ones that are more sort of physical degeneration. So you'd be talking maybe like joint aches and pains and vaginal dryness. So these are quite common ones that can continue for quite a long time afterwards unless they're treated or resolved. So number two is, are your symptoms worsening, or have they gone away and come back again? Now, in this case, and a really good example would be excessive sweating. So you're thinking, oh, the hormones are up and down again, and I'm getting hot flushes or I'm getting night sweats. At this point, especially if symptoms are getting worse or they've reappeared after maybe 3 or 4 years of nothing, very often these are not hormonal, and they can be due to other health issues, which I talked about last week. So you're looking at things like vitamin D or B12 deficiency, you're looking at thyroid imbalance, diabetes and heart disease. All of these can cause sweats and night sweats. So these really do need to be checked out by your doctor, especially if they're getting worse or they've definitely reappeared. Do you find that you've got completely new symptoms? So you may find that a good few years down the line, you're getting anxiety, maybe a bit of stress, you're getting the fatigue, you're not sleeping particularly well. So these ones tend to be things like maybe vitamin deficiency. They can be purely signs of aging, unfortunately, but they can also be due to things like stress. It can also be, have you suddenly started changing your diet? Have you gone on a very strict diet? Have you maybe started a really heavy duty exercise regime? So these things can all put extra pressure on our body, and that can then lead to other symptoms that look very similar to menopause ones. In this situation, what I usually say is, if symptoms have suddenly appeared, look back to the point when these happened. Look at what was going on in your life. Were you extra stressed? Is there something else going on? And very often you will get a really good clue, and then of course it will be much easier treated. Number four is bleeding, or you think maybe you're getting periods back. Now, unless you have started HRT, which can sometimes bring bleeding or spotting back, if you start bleeding after 2 years post-menopause, it is really important to go and see your doctor. There can be a number of reasons. It can be a prolapse, it could be polyps, it could be fibroids, it could be cysts. So it's really important with this one that you get it checked out. Other factors that can affect you physically post-menopause are things like dehydration, if you're not sleeping well. So it's always a good idea just to do a little bit of a lifestyle overhaul, and you may find that these symptoms are easily treated and you start to feel better. Hope you found this one helpful. As usual, if you have any questions, please ask and tell me all your lovely stories. I love reading about them. Have a lovely week, and I'll see you soon.